Boom, what's going on, aviators? Andrew here, and today I'll be sharing with you some long overdue updates and the story behind it all. This has been a very long journey, so thank you for being patient with us, and I hope you enjoy this video. So behind me are some of the coolest products that we've ever offered, and these are the custom sets. These have been for sale for a while, and we've been kind of refining our sets over the past couple of years. But this one, what you see here, are some of our most recent releases, and obviously they're a little bit overdue. We launched them some of them we launched in early June, expected to ship them by mid-July, but at the time of making this video, it is nearly the end of August. So, like I said, this is a little bit overdue, but I'm incredibly proud of what we created, and I kind of wanted to tell you guys the story as to like why this took so long and everything that went into making these things, so you can kind of get a better picture of the scope of this project as a whole. So this right here is a physical culmination of many community and staff members working together to create an incredible and unique product. So we have these two sets over here, the Bad Batch ship and the Stun Tank, were designed by Parth, otherwise known as BrickWizard59 on Instagram. And they were organized and parted out by Thomas, aka TNRCustoms. The box art was made by Bryce and Darren. Those are going to be Vortexbattalion and BZK designs, respectively. The figures were designed and printed by myself, and the helmets were decaled by Hector, JD, and Maddie, which are TheWolfpackCustoms, Bricks Today, and Bricks Tomorrow, respectively. We also do have a resin printed arm that was designed and printed by OMV Custom Figures on Instagram. So you definitely want to check him out. And yeah, like I said, there were so many different people involved in making these products, including the workshop staff. So Jake, Alejandro, Meme, Brandon, they all had a hand in making these, whether it was like packing it or creating the inserts for them, which I'll show you in a little bit, or casting the helmets and everything in between. So like I said, there's been a lot of people involved in creating each and every one of these products, and we've poured our heart and time into working on these, and I really hope that you guys like them. Just for a disclaimer, the Bad Batch ship was a one-time exclusive, so we're not going to be restocking this one, but the Stun Tank and the Swamp Speeder are things that we will be restocking in the future, but I'll be talking a little bit about how those are going to be different moving forward. So like I mentioned, we are over a month overdue on these things. I wanted them shipped out by mid-July. It's almost the end of August. I could talk for days and days about like how cool this stuff is and all the good stuff about it, but it wouldn't be right to just not address all the bad stuff that came with it. So, this, like I said, this is a physical culmination of all the work, but it was a bumpy ride, I gotta be honest. From the start, we released these sets like in pretty rapid succession from one another. We thought like, we got this new UV printer. We can chuck out figs like there's no tomorrow. Theoretically, we should have been able to print like 80 figures at a time, but we had a lot of issues in nailing the alignment, and I think that the biggest bottleneck of this entire project was definitely my personal inability to print figures faster. So, in learning all this, I've spent literally hundreds of hours trying to nail the alignment on the printer. I've misprinted hundreds of figures. I'm pretty sure we've printed more misprints than good prints at this point. I'm hoping to turn that around really soon. In particular with these figures, I had to learn all sorts of things about like the different ink levels and how to use them and how to get them to fit in our jig without damaging the figures. And we definitely have damaged quite a few figures in the process of making this set. But all in all, I think that we did a really good job creating a final product. So in doing all the printing that was needed for these sets, we printed quite a number of figures, honestly. But I think that I have successfully set the stage for our next printed figure release by learning how to do all this alignment and stuff, and we got it fairly consistent by the end of the printing that was needed for these sets. So this entire process of releasing these sets has definitely been a learning experience, to say the least. We kind of realized what our true capacity is at this point in time, and just how much we realistically are able to do versus what theoretically we should have been able to do. So I realized throughout this that I kind of want to reallocate our time and resources to something that serves more people. With the amount of time and resources that went into creating these products here, we created some really cool stuff and we printed some great figures, but it's only to serve a select few. who ordered this stuff when we could technically be using those time and resources to serve many more people. So moving forward, at least for the short term, what I'm going to be doing is reallocating those time and resources to creating more products and supplies for decalers like blank figures and blank helmets. And also, instead of printing figures that are exclusive to a few sets, I'm going to be printing some figures that'll be available to everyone as public stock, so that we, as I said, we can serve more people than just a few. So my goal here is to offer more products in a higher quantity and higher quality. Previously we've been doing like these small releases with just a couple things that were done, and they sell out really fast, and then people get upset. We sold some of these bigger products, and they sold out really fast, and we did not ship fast, and people got upset. So definitely going to be rethinking and redoing the way that we organize our releases, how many of it that we release, and let's try to make it a little bit less like a rush to buy a product and spend a little bit more time so that we can have higher quality releases for you guys. That's why we haven't been doing any printed or sets release for the past couple weeks. Actually, the last printed figure release was a while ago, and we're not going to be doing another one until we have a huge inventory stock, so that way it doesn't sell out within 5 minutes, hopefully. So ever since like May of 2019, we've been trying to print figures in-house, and it's been a difficult journey and a very bumpy ride, from old printers with technical malfunctions to figure trays that didn't hold the figures properly. We've been suffering from alignment, misprints, like color matching errors, technical difficulties, and it's been really difficult for us to really nail consistent and high quantity and quality printed figures. I'm pretty sure that other companies didn't have as much of a problem as we did with alignment and everything, and this frustration has definitely been kind of embarrassing for me, because I feel like it should be easy, but it isn't as easy as I thought it would be. But nonetheless, I think that after everything that we did for these sets, we definitely set the stage to have higher quality and higher quantity printed figure releases in the near future. I also learned how to print on figure parts, which I'll be showing you when I showcase these sets in a little bit. So there's definitely going to be a wider variety of products that we can offer. Printing heads is going to be super easy, so we'll be able to offer a whole bunch of different printed heads for you guys in high quantities as well. And printing figures, for the most part, we got that kind of stabilized, and I would like to just prove that with our next release, so by saying hey, we got a lot of figures, they're all good quantity, they're all good quality, and I wanted to see, I wanted to prove to you guys that hey, we are capable of doing this before offering more and more services, and again, biting off more than we can chew. So also to keep in mind, all of these parts were sourced from all over the world. We got parts from Bricklink for each of these sets. They were shipped to Thomas for sorting. We had these boxes produced here in the U.S. We had a lot of logistical back and forth, like shipping helmets to cloniers and decals, and then having them shipped back, shipping them to the workshop to get them fulfilled and everything, and then getting all of these packages really just. It took a lot of coordination to really get these sets to what they are, and to my knowledge, no one else has done printed packaging like this with the inserts that I'll show you in a little bit. So I think we definitely have some of the highest quality sets out there. Just our turnaround time sucked really bad, and before we offer any more sets moving forward, I definitely want to fix that turnaround time. So now that you have some context as to the work that went into it, how many people were involved, and the sheer amount of just coordination that required to make each and every one of these products. Without further ado, let's get into them. So the very first one that I want to show off, and the one that I'm most excited for, is the Bad Batch ship. Ever since the Clone Wars came back, we've been riding this Bad Batch hype for such a long time, and honestly, I'm still on that hype. So this, like I said, this is a printed box and everything. It's printed on all sides and the outside, really professional packaging. This was the cover art was designed by Vortexbattalion. And the box outline, we call it the die line. This was designed by BZK Designs, and once again the figures were printed by myself, and the helmets were decaled by JD and Maddie. And you can see it even has includes a bonus 5th custom minifigure. We did try to mimic the kind of the way that Lego has the front of their box as well, the piece count and the age thing. We were probably going to take the age thing out because honestly this is for any age. And we also do have the exclusive numbering, so this is number 7 out of 10 of these sets that were produced. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy opened. So when you're opening these sets, you don't want to pull from the middle. You're going to want to pull from the sides here a little bit because you don't want to bend or tear the box. When you open it, you can see that there's some laser cut foam inserts These are really cool. I don't think anyone really does that kind of thing here. I have like a little note for everyone here, and then also there's a sticker in here and a printed brick, which was not advertised. It's a bit of a free gift for everyone who purchased the set. So this is going to be an upcoming product right here. So it's a printed AV Figures brick, and it's going to come with every one of these sets that was purchased. So inside all of that, you have some guns from Brick Arms and TNRCustoms for our good old Bad Batch guys. You have this big old bag of parts for every single part in this set. Once again, the parts were sorted and organized by TNRCustoms. And in each of these 6 slots, you have a minifigure. So you got Captain Rex, which was an optional purchase that anyone could get. You got Corporal Echo in his Season 7 armor with that printed arm, or with that resin printed arm from OMB Customs. And then you also have Hunter, Crosshair, Wrecker, and Tech, all using our prototype helmets decaled by JD and Maddie. And you know, this set is really just honestly, I'm super happy with the way that it came out. And here we have the prototype build of the set. So this is actually not reflective of the final design. Again, this is a prototype build. The final design was built to be a little more sturdy, but overall, you know, we have a more or less like kind of MIDI play scale, similar in size and shape to the Republic shuttle that came out in 2010, which I think was probably one of the greatest sets LEGO ever released. And you know, we got like the boosters here at the back. The entire build was honestly just like very masterfully designed by Brick Wizard 59. It's missing a couple parts because I lost some of them while moving and reorganizing the workshop, as you see behind me. Like it's missing a gun here and one of the guns here at the back. But overall, like this is honestly one of the coolest sets that we've ever produced. I think that the design is incredible. It's a really solid nod to the Emperor Palpatine shuttle and a mixture of like those the Republic shuttle and whatnot. So yeah, this design was honestly super cool. I definitely wish that we saw more Bad Batch in the Clone Wars, but we will be seeing them in the Bad Batch TV series as upcoming, and I hope you guys are just as hyped for that as we are. So yeah, once again, this entire design is a prototype. We still the final build is what you guys see here. So the variations are very slight, but we made sure that the build is more sturdy and it's a higher quality set for you guys to display all your with all your figures. Now the next set that I wanted to show off was the stun tank. Now, this set was also designed by Parth, otherwise known as Brick Wizard 59. Once again, it's got figures that were designed and printed by myself, and then the helmets were decaled by Hector, TheWolfpackCustoms. And just like the other one, there's an exclusive numbering up here, but as you can see, it says first edition. So this is a set that we definitely plan on restocking, but in the first edition of the set, only 20 were produced, and this one is number 16 out of 20. Once again, we tried to mimic the Lego style numbering here, and it also says that it features printed hull or tiles and hull detailing. So this right here is actually a render of the set, so it doesn't show the printed hull detailing, but I'll show you that in a second. Just like the Bad Batch ship, you know, it's got some items on the back that shows the the playability of the set. Also says a custom says an original set designed by Parth Vasini. It's got the AV Figures logo all over it, and once again, really professional packaging. And when you open up the box, once again, you're going to want to grab it from the sides and do it a little bit. You don't want to grab it from the middle. It's a little stiff. And just like the other sets, it has like a little note, crediting the people who were involved in making the set. It also comes with a bag of printed parts. So these are some of the parts that were UV printed on with the AV Figures style. To my knowledge, the only other company that does UV print on their parts is Breakmania, but I could be wrong. But we definitely want to incorporate more UV printed parts in future sets because this is honestly really cool. And you have the big bag of parts in the middle of the set, and you have your 2 figures. So this one's Commander Picara and a Galactic Marine. There were some people who also ordered the upsell where you could get a 3rd or 2nd Galactic Marine and Ki-Adi-Mundi. This particular set does not have that because not everyone bought the upsell. So in my hand, I have a prototype build of the set, but it also features the printed parts that come with it. So very similarly to the Bad Batch, Bad Batch set, this one is a slight variation from the final product, but the biggest difference, as you can see, is the printed hull detailing here. So I'm going to bring this a little closer to the camera, but you have this this detailing here on the stun gun looking thing. This is a very detailed print, and it was really interesting to get that printed. We also have this red stripe that goes across the dome of this the stun tank. And then we also have this hull detailing over here, like these red stripes, and some build detailing on this tile over here. And we also have some printing here on the sides for like those grills. And I think, to my knowledge, the only other company that produces sets and does printing is Brickmania. We definitely are going to want to incorporate more printing onto tiles and brick parts because that really is just like a unique feature to the set. And the parts are honestly easier to print than figures. So we're definitely going to be doing a little bit more of that in the future. But this is a really cool build. Once again, it was designed by Parth Vasini, and then it was parted out by TNRCustoms. The UV printing was done by myself, and then we have our incredible cloniers who decaled the helmets and the graphic designers who created the box art. So just like the Bad Batch set, this set is like there's a lot of people involved with it, and I'm incredibly happy with the way that it came out. And last but not least is the Swamp Speeder. So this is actually our second edition that we've already done the Swamp Speeder. The first time we only stocked 10, second time we stocked 20, and this time we also offer the an optional upsell for you to purchase a second 327 Trooper, but instead of just a regular one, we did the little known inverted pauldron, where the pauldron is facing the other side, and we call this one the 327 Sergeant because that's what we've seen it been called in other places. We just only ever saw them on the Battle of Fallujah. So this one does not have the full printed box art, but instead it does feature a sleeve that goes around the boxes and in a bit more of a sturdy box here. And this will also be shipped in a separate box. All these will be shipped in separate boxes so that the box art does not get damaged because that in and of itself is a collectible piece. So you can easily take off the sleeve, just slide it off like this. And then the set opens up. Now you have all your stickers in here. Once again, comes with the printed brick. And just to make sure that the figures and the parts don't go sliding around all over the place, we put some packaging paper here using post-consumer waste, so we're trying to be a little mindful of the environment. You got your two troopers. I think everyone who bought the Swamp Speeder in the second edition actually got the Sergeant upgrade. So those are pretty much in every set. We also have all the parts. We decided not to fit them all in one bag, but they're in two separate bags here. And some of the larger parts we kept a little bit loose. But once again, to prevent things from knocking around too much, we have the packing paper. And then you got your stickers, and then the brick itself. So that is pretty much all I have to show you for our sets. We are still working on the Super Tank. The figures for those will be finished this week, and then we'll get the printed box art in a week or two. We already have the parts, they're already parted out, the helmets are already decaled, and I'll show you a photo of that in just a second. But thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, this entire journey for creating the sets has been a long and difficult one, and we're finally approaching the tail end of it. We're past the point of needing to do further production. All we got to do is just pack them up, make sure everyone gets the right things, send them out. So they'll be sent out today. If whatever we don't finish today, we will ship out tomorrow, and the wait will finally be over for all of us. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for all the interest and the support along the way. And once again, I'd just like to mention, we will continue doing sets, but we will be doing them in less frequency, and we're going to make sure that all the figures and helmets are done ahead of time, so that way we don't have that bottleneck, and the only thing that we're really going to be waiting on is the boxes and the parts and just parting it out, which is the fast and easy part comparatively to the rest of the stuff here. So thank you guys all again for tuning in. If you guys stick around for the end of the video, I very much appreciate it. We're going to be doing a printed figure release in early September. I want to make sure that we have a lot of figures made ahead of time. But I've been telling people like, oh, I don't know when the next printed figure release. But now that we have all this stuff out of the way, we're pretty much caught up on the backlog. I can confidently say that in early September we are going to have another printed figure release, and it's going to be incredible. So again, I just cannot express how thankful I am for all your patience and your support. We're a company in our really early stages, and this is while this isn't like some huge warehouse stock of items, this is definitely something that we have been. This is the biggest project that we've undertaken yet, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do this again in a greater capacity and execute it a little bit better, so that way I don't have you guys waiting for something that I promised would be arriving sooner. So just again, thank you so much for your patience and your support. I'm incredibly appreciative of all your support, so on behalf of everyone else in the team and myself, thank you guys so much. And remember, always go above and beyond. Catch you later, aviators.